Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we'll be diving into a new module, Module 3, Essential Inputs for Scheduling. The first lesson in this module focuses on determining the activities involved in a construction project. For this lesson, we have two main learning objectives. First, we'll classify different types of project activities, and second, we'll learn how to develop a work breakdown structure for construction activities. In this video, we'll focus on the first objective. Let's go ahead and get started. Project activities can generally be classified into four common categories. First, we have milestone activities. Next, pre-construction activities. Third, construction activities, which will be our primary focus in this class. And finally, contract closeout activities. Let's start with milestones. They are activities that don't require time or resources. Instead, they serve as markers for important moments in the project timeline. In construction, milestones often correspond to key end dates, such as the completion of a phase of the project or the end of a major contract. For example, finishing the foundation work or completing the framing could be considered milestones in the schedule. Milestones also represent key deliverables that are expected at specific points in the project. These could be things like submitting design documents, getting approval for permits, or handing over reports or drawings to the client. Lastly, milestones can signify important events in the construction process, such as review or project meeting. These events often involve critical discussions around progress, issues, or changes. As a result, certain work must be completed by these crucial events to ensure that the project stays on track. Now, when it comes to representing milestones on a bar chart or linear schedule, they're typically depicted as diamond-shaped symbols. This distinctive shape helps differentiate milestones from regular tasks. You can place these diamond symbols at the points in the timeline when the milestones are expected to be achieved. Keep in mind that there could be multiple milestones in the schedule, depending on how many checkpoints you want to establish throughout the project timeline. Next, we have pre-construction activities, which play a crucial role in preparing for the actual construction phase. Pre-construction activities are what to be completed before any physical construction work begins. One of the first major activities is land acquisition by the project owner, which is essential for moving forward with the design and construction process. Next is design, which are typically carried out by architects and engineers. The design process can be broken down into different phases. Conceptual design is the first stage, where general ideas and plans are created, giving a broad view of the project. The next step is detailed design, where the plans are refined and specific details about how the project will be built are outlined. Then come the bid documents, which include all the necessary information for contractors to submit their bids, such as project specifications, timelines, and required materials. Afterward, the project team issued for construction IFC documents, which are the finalized plans and drawings that are used to begin construction work. Additionally, there may be major design revisions requested by the owner or architect engineer, AE, during the design process. These revisions can impact the scope and direction of the project, which is why it's important to account for them during pre-construction. Before construction begins, securing the necessary permits is another critical step. These official approvals, such as building permits and zoning permits, ensure that the project complies with local regulations and safety standards. Finally, pre-construction includes procurement, focusing on bidding and contracting to hire contractors and suppliers, as well as manufacturing and delivering long lead items like structural steel, prefabricated components, and specialized equipment to prevent delays. Since these pre-construction activities lay the groundwork for a successful construction phase, it's crucial not to overlook them when planning and scheduling your construction projects. Once the contractor receives a notice to proceed from the owner, construction can officially begin. This marks the transition from planning to execution. The construction phase includes all activities carried out by both the owner and the contractor to bring the project to completion. These tasks range from mobilization and site preparation to foundation work, structural framing, and final finishing. Construction tasks are typically divided into trades. Each trade represents a specialized scope of work, such as electrical, plumbing, or structural steel. A common way to classify these trades is by using the CSI divisions, a standardized system that organizes construction activities. You will learn more about the CSI master format and the ways to determine construction activities in another video. The final phase of the project is closeout, a crucial step to ensure all contractual obligations are met and the project is officially completed. One of the key activities during closeout is completing the punch list, which includes minor deficiencies or items that do not meet contract specifications. These issues are identified during the pre-final inspection, typically requested by the contractor when they believe the project is substantially complete. Creating a punch list is often a prerequisite for issuing the Certificate of Substantial Completion, a significant milestone in construction projects. This certificate signifies that the project is complete enough for its intended use. shifting responsibility to the owner while the contractor addresses the remaining punch list items. It also triggers warranty periods, allows occupancy, and sets the stage for final payment and project closeout. The punch list process typically occurs a few days or weeks before the final inspection, providing time for the general contractor and subcontractors to resolve any outstanding issues. During the final inspection, the architect and engineers will verify that every punch list item has been completed to the required standards, ensuring the project meets all specifications before full acceptance. Now, let's discuss another important part of the contract closeout activities, the Certificate of Occupancy, or CO. The Certificate of Occupancy is issued by the city, county, or municipality that granted the building permit. The CO inspection typically occurs shortly after the final inspection. This certificate signifies that the building has been approved and is safe to use. It confirms that the building conforms to all relevant codes and regulations, including a completed fire marshal inspection, which is a vital part of obtaining the CO. In cases where some work is left unfinished, but it does not affect life safety, the Certificate of Occupancy can still be granted. However, the general contractor may post a bond to guarantee the completion of the remaining work. Once the CO is issued, the owner can occupy the building as soon as permitted. Before the contract is considered fully completed, demobilization must take place. First, the construction site needs to be cleaned up. This includes removing any leftover debris, construction materials, and waste, leaving the site in a tidy and safe condition. Next, the project office needs to be closed. In addition, any equipment or materials that are not part of the permanent construction must be removed from the site. All temporary utilities such as water, electricity, and gas services need to be disconnected. These services, which were set up during construction, should be terminated safely and according to regulations. To completely close out the contract and receive the final payment, the contractor must submit a final payment application to the owner. The final payment application should be submitted along with necessary documentation, such as final inspection reports, certifications, as-built drawings, and warranties. This application typically requests the release of retention and payment for any work completed since the last payment. The owner will then review the application and confirm that all conditions of the contract have been met. If everything is in order, the owner will authorize the final payment, officially closing out the project and ensuring that the contractor is paid for their services. And that wraps up this video, in which we covered the various types of activities that take place throughout the life cycle of a construction project, from pre-construction to construction, and finally, contract closeout. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.